Mark, with a quick turnaround between fixtures, what goes into preparing the players for a match?
Well, we have recovery protocols, so they've got to go through that. They had a day off yesterday, so that's just the way that our week's structured, even when there's a game on a Tuesday. So the work will get done today, get up to Middlesbrough, and be ready to play the game and look forward to a really good game against a side that are unbeaten this season so far.
What did you have to kind of consider when selecting a team with such a short turnaround?
You're looking at opposition, you're looking at the way that they do things, you're looking at what we have, what we've got available, and how we're doing things and how we're moving and how we're looking. So recovery is always important, and this one is no different. So we're looking forward to it. And obviously we're early in the morning at the moment, so players are just arriving, and there's been no sort of negative information overnight, so that's a good thing. Yesterday was fine, it was clear, so yeah, just look forward to seeing what we've got and make sure that they get the work that they need for the game tomorrow.
As well as performances in matches, how important are performances and what you see in training in terms of selecting a team?
Well, training performances are always important because you want to see things that you've been working on, and then obviously when you comes to the game, you want to see them coming out in the game. So then it makes things worthwhile. But I think for us, because of the quick turnaround, we've just got to make sure that we, whatever we do, whichever way we go, whatever is personnel, that everybody's sure about what their roles and responsibilities are as always, and then go up and give our best.
Thomas Rigo started the last three since his summer arrival. What have you made of his performances since he's joined?
Oh, he's been good. He's been part of a good side, a good group. He's played some really good football, and he's played a lot of football before he came here. So he's obviously match ready anyway. And he's settled in really quickly, which is always good because he's a player coming into the championship. It's never simple. It's never straightforward, and I think he's settled in really quickly. But that is down to a lot of factors. Him, his family, and making sure that they feel obviously welcome, and which he is. We waited a long time to sign him, as everybody knows, and I think that the work that's gone on in the meantime, getting him settled in with obviously accommodation, living arrangements, car, driving, mobile phone, anything that they need is catered for. And once that's taken away from them and that concern's taken away from them, they can focus on what they're here to do, and that's clearly to settle, to train, to play, to get used to the environment and the intensity and frequency of the games, which is always a challenge for everybody.
Middlesbrough have made an excellent start to the season. What makes them a difficult opponent, and what sort of attitude do you want to see from your side on Tuesday?
Middlesbrough had a really good start. There's no doubt. Rob's gone in there in the summer and stamped his authority on it and his way. They've got good players, and they had good players already. They've had a churn of players like everybody else, and they've brought new ones in, and people are there are sort of settling down as well. I think in general that can be said for the whole of the championship, which is obviously 7 games in now. It's in its infancy, but we are 7 games in, and people are sort of still finding the way, and I'm sure things will change as we go on. But as we speak, it's first versus third, and all to play for. And like I said before the Norwich game, it's a big week. You've got certainly a big points total if you can win all 3. We've obviously drawn on Saturday. We've got 2 away games now, one against the top of the league, and then we go to Blackburn Rovers on the weekend for a 12:30 kickoff. So it's always a challenge, but for us it's about what we do, always the same, what we do, how we prepare, and get ready and go and have a really good game against a really good opposition.
You mentioned it's first versus third. Not too many people have probably seen that being the case so early into the season. What does that kind of say about the championship and how well both teams started the campaign?
I'd just say about the squad changes, because there's been a lot of signings this season. I think there's certainly since COVID, I'm sure that there's probably been more money spent, more change, more turnover of squads than before COVID. But I think that as a factor is a factor in how things settle and how quickly things can settle. But that isn't really an issue for us. I think our focus and concentration is just on ourselves and ensuring we can perform to the levels we've set and the standards that we've set. I'm sure Middlesbrough are the same with their thoughts and their thinking, and clearly they've got a way of playing that's been fruitful for them so far, and you know, they'll change in game. Tactically they're very good, and like I said, the quality of the play that they have is up there with the best anyway. And obviously Michael had done a great job before. You know, played against his teams regularly, and they were always a real threat, a real challenge. And again, you know, they've had turnaround. They've had a big turnaround, both in player numbers and players coming in and going out, and obviously managerial change during the summer. So that in itself tends to take time to settle, but you know, they've hit the ground running, and good luck to them after tomorrow.
In terms of player availability, how are we looking on that front?
We are okay. You know, we're all right. I think, you know, I said last week there were one or two issues with one or two players, but that can quickly resolve, and you know, we're in decent health, so we go up there with a really strong squad, looking forward to a tough game. And like I say, Tuesday game, obviously a long way to go for our supporters, but look forward to seeing those that travel up there tomorrow night, because it's really, you know, greatly appreciated for the obviously the money they spent, the time they put in, and the commitment they show.